in my life 2 franchises that regularly go to the playoffs, the Eagles and the Texans, capsize in 2-3 months. The Texans literally are taking on water, and they don't have any life preservers. And Philadelphia this morning, they get worked in that trade with Carson Wentz. And the story out today, they're not going to give the quarterback job to Jalen Hurts. He's going to have to earn it. Oh, boy. So you hire a head coach, young kid, Nick Sirianni, who butchered his press conference, appeared incredibly nervous, unproven, going into a vicious, verbal, intense city with a quarterback competition. I don't remember a time when 2 winning franchises, Philadelphia and Houston, have capsized in the offseason. And the offseason just started 2 weeks ago. And I was thinking about the Carson Wentz deal. Obviously, Carson Wentz wins yesterday. He gets a better O-line. He gets a better culture. He gets a better GM. He gets a much better now coach. He gets better weapons. Philadelphia's defense is fine, but I think he gets a little better, younger defense, obviously. But the winner in this is also the NFL. And when you're a well-run business, and I've defended Roger Goodell for years, the media doesn't like the NFL as much because the NFL has power, and the NFL doesn't need the media. The baseball in the NBA, they need the media. So what you'll find with the media is they talk way more NBA than actually there is interest in the NBA. And baseball, because of the newspapers and the box scores, have always had a great relationship with baseball. That's how I grew up. It's how everybody grew up. You go to the newspaper to get your box score. Not as much now, but certainly how many of us are 40 or 50, that's how we lived. But the NFL doesn't need the media. They don't need newspapers. They don't need me. They don't need the radio. And the media likes to feel needed, and the NFL doesn't need them. And for years and years, I always said this about Roger Goodell. I'm like, by and large, this is by far and away the best run league. They don't have nearly the issues of the lack of competition in the NBA. NBA kind of feels like coastal. Baseball, there's the rich, everybody else. But this Carson Wentz deal, this is why it's so great for the NFL. And the Matt Stafford deal for the Rams. The bottom third of teams in any sport don't matter. You're never judged by that. When Michael Jordan ran the NBA, the bottom third of the league was dreck. It was awful. It didn't matter. You don't put them on television. Your network partners and you are not putting them on television. So it didn't matter that the bottom third of the NBA during Jordan's era was awful. Same with Shaq and Kobe. It doesn't matter. If the top of your sport is good, where your best players are on your best teams, hopefully in like traditional powers, Green Bay. You want Green Bay to be good in the NFL. You want Pittsburgh to be good. You want the Celtics, Lakers to be good. Miami Heat in the NBA. These are really good, well-run franchises. But Carson Wentz was wasting his talent. What you don't want is Matt Stafford for a decade wasting his talent with the dysfunctional Lions. What you don't want is Mike Trout with the Angels. You want Mike Trout with the Dodgers. I mean, Mookie Betts is an amazing story. Like, I'm a casual baseball fan. I love the postseason. I'll watch a postseason baseball game over a Thursday night NFL game. I love baseball postseason. But Mookie Betts goes to the Dodgers. It's the first time in 10 years. I can't wait for the season to start. He had so much energy and so much juice. It was nothing against being in Boston, but they've been kind of last couple of years rebuilding. You want your stars in the right places. So right now, Stafford to the Rams, from the bottom of the league to one of the better organizations, and Carson Wentz escaping the dysfunction and going to a top 6 or 7 roster, huge win. Now, both of those are in the Super Bowl hunt. Right now, this morning in the NFL, I looked it up. Half the NFL is 30-1 or better odds to win the Super Bowl. Half the league, 8 NBA teams are. You want your stars to avoid dysfunction. Anthony Davis with the Pelicans did nothing for the league. Anthony Davis with LeBron, now we've got a story. Now we've got a dynasty. Bradley Beal for the Wizards is awful for the NBA. He's an unbelievable kid and an unbelievable talent, wasting away in Washington. You put him on the Celtics tomorrow, you put him on, Rockets. That's how league, because think about the NFL. The games that matter for the NFL is the 4 o'clock game on CBS and the 4 o'clock game on Fox. Sunday Night Football on NBC, Monday Night Football on ESPN, and Thursday night games, they stand alone. They matter. Where you can bury teams is the 1 o'clock Eastern window on Sunday. You can put the Jaguars on there for years. They disappear into the ether. They're 7-8 games. Nobody watches them. You only put them in like 7% of the country. Leagues hide. The NFL hides its bad teams. But it makes sure it gets its stars at 4, Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday. Get your stars. That was one of the deals. When Fox got Thursday night, Fox went to the NFL and said, can we get better games? We'll promote the hell out of it. We're good with the NFL. You know we'll take care of it. You got to give us better games. And so suddenly, what did the NFL and Fox do? They gave them more divisional games. Ravens, Steelers, Packers, Bears. That's why Thursday Night Football with Fox has been better, because they gave us better games. Remember when Thursday Night Football used to be on the NFL Network and you get Jags Titans and they'd wear goofy uniforms? You're like, this is bad product. NFL finally figured it out. And so this is so good. Wentz goes from dysfunction and chaos to an incredible football culture. Huge win for the NFL. Now you got another Super Bowl team. Stafford goes, super talented, from the dysfunctional Lions to the Rams with other stars. So when I look at these moves with all these leagues, this has been a great. When did Stafford get traded? It's been a great 2 weeks for the NFL. Stars in the right places, like Zion. I hope the Pelicans get it right. I really do. I do. I think they're well run. But if he's there 7 years and makes the playoffs once, that's bad for the league. You don't want Zion buried on a 500 basketball team. I mean, think about Kevin Garnett. He was a stat monster in Minnesota for years. He wasn't on television. Nobody taught. He was just a really good, you had to be a diehard NBA guy to follow it. Then he goes to the Celtics, and he becomes one of the 3 faces of the NBA, and everybody loves Kevin Garnett. Now he's on television. Now everybody, I mean, he was always a smart, interesting guy. Nobody knew about him. He was in Minnesota. It's like Death Valley of the NBA. He was this great player just wasting away. Then he goes to the Celtics. He's a top, I mean, we talk Kevin Garnett all the time. That's what sports needs, and that's where the NFL's hit 2 home runs in the last couple of weeks with Stafford and Wentz going. By the way, Deshaun Watson, just throw this out there, deserves better. Deshaun Watson needs to go to a winning organization. He's too talented now to be buried in Houston with that coach and that owner and that nonsense in the front office. So the NFL can really hit the lottery. If Deshaun Watson goes somewhere that's functional, you're going to have Stafford, Wentz, and Deshaun. Chaos to functional. Huge win. That'd be like 3 Bradley Beals going to the Celtics, Lakers, and Spurs. Huge wins for leagues. All right, now here's something I don't understand.